Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back. Haven't made a video in a while, maybe about 2 weeks. So I'm back with another video. I have a 33-minute drive. I'm here out in Hempstead, Long Island, and I'm going back to Queens. I just did finish an update. So there was actually 2 updates in between. So the update software for 2026.20.6, and then today I just actually downloaded this one, which is 20.6.1. so we're gonna do a little drive, and it's got a lot to catch up on and a lot to talk about, so let's go. So first thing that I want to talk about is that I always assumed that these updates that are non-FSD updates had zero to do with FSD, but I think I'm mistaken, because it has to do with FSD because of the fact that things have changed, right? And there was no FSD update. So the only way that something can change in FSD, well, I thought, was if there was an update to FSD, but I do feel like they're not telling us, but FSD gets little small increment changes or things like that with these regular actual software updates. Because one of the things that I did notice, I've seen other people talk about, was FSD's running of red lights, right? It's happened to me before, never caught it on video, but what I did notice is that it would only, I don't know if it was like on a timer, right? And it's because most stoplights are about a minute, some are about a minute and a half, some are 2 minutes, but I feel like it would be trying to time it, and then it would start to take off. But to me, it wasn't it was bad, but it wasn't critical, like it was going to get me into accident, because of the fact that it would only go forward if there's no cars coming, right? But with that being said, that's been fixed. So, and there's no FSD update, right? Because it's now not doing that. What it'll do is it'll start to inch, or you could feel the same way it would do before, and then eventually try to proceed through the light. It would inch, and then it would stop. It would basically realize that the light is red and not go. So, but once again, how is that possible if I've not gotten a new FSD update? The only way that's even close to being possible is if they are tinkering or tweaking things inside of the FSD through the regular software, right? I mean, or the other alternative is that the software or the car is learning, right? That would be the only other thing, is that the car is learning stuff, which would be super duper great. But once again, I think it's that they're just adding a little bit in the software, regular software updates, that they're not, because I noticed certain things changed from the 2026 point, what is it? Hold on, let me go back before. When I got to the 2026.20.6, even the software update before that, it eliminated some of the issues that I was having with the swaying back and forth, right? They kind of like stopped that, even though it's funny, as I'm looking at it, it's doing a little bit right now, but it kind of stopped that. So now we're on this extra software that came out, and it seems to have stopped the potential of running a red light, because like something, it was very, very rare that it would have happened or even come close to happening. But once again, it was only in instances where the light was red and it was there for a long time and there was no cars coming, it would happen. But I would always immediately stop it. I never got it on video, but I noticed earlier today when I wasn't recording, that with just that update, not the update that I just downloaded, but the update prior to that, it was not doing that anymore. And to me, I don't understand how that's possible if they didn't get an FSD update. But That's just my theory. I could be wrong. I forgot to text my customer that I'm on my way, so give me a second, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. 4041. Oh, just want to text, not call. Kind of upset at myself. I thought I pre-ordered the part for this customer, but I didn't. Yeah, so dang, there was something else that I was thinking about. I thought about before I called that customer, and I was going to talk about it. But yeah, I mean, the only other, like I said, the only other thing I could think of is maybe the car's learning. If it's not learning, then it has to be getting little additives or little tweaks in the software update that technically do go towards FSD, because I've noticed that's not a thing no more. Just the driving is just a little bit more smoother. They haven't fixed the damn lane changing, you know, still bad. Lane changing is still bad. Still just does some, when I say it's bad, it's like sometimes it just makes lane changes that don't make any type of sense. You know, today earlier I was on a single street and it kept, like, the light was coming to like a stop, and well, the light turned red, but because of the traffic, we were kind of like going to be hanging out in the intersection. So of course it didn't want to go forward for the intersection, but what it tried to do was get into the right lane, but there was no lane, right? So immediately the car has to now get back into the left lane because it shouldn't have even got into the right lane because it was never a lane. So stuff like that, that's where it gets silly. Today it did miss an exit. Well, it was about to, and then I took over and I made it go the right way. But lane changing, things like that. And this guy behind me, he's got his blinker on, turning, saying that he's gonna get over. So I'm assuming FSD saw that, and that's why I was getting over to the lane that he was leaving, but he wasn't. He was actually getting over the opposite direction his blinker was on. But that's the way people drive these days. Here goes an M5 pulling up on me. Oh no, that's not an M5, it's an MR2. It's not even an MR2, that's an M340. I mean 240, sorry, my bad. But dang it, lost my train of thought. But yeah, so the car's been doing good. Like I said, oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Lane changes. Sometimes, let's see if we could get some of them here. Like, I just feel like it'll be silly because it'll be in a lane that's moving well, and then it'll get out of that lane into another lane, and then want to get back into the other lane it just left because the lane that it got into was not moving as good. And it's like, you could have just stayed where you're at. And it's like, at first I thought it was because maybe it didn't want a left lane camp, but it does the same thing in the middle lane too. It's like there's times it's in the middle lane and the middle lane is flowing, and it's like fiending to get into the left lane, the fast lane, and then the left lane is not even moving, and it gets back over. This technically is not good because it shouldn't be crossing the white solid lines. I mean, I do it all the time, but FSD should technically be following the law. I do got 4 new tires, guys. Just want to talk about that as well. If you guys own a Tesla, if you bought a Tesla, even have a used Tesla, I do recommend getting the wheel and tire package. By far one of the best things that you can do. So look, once again, now it's getting over. Like, we were in this, what you call it, lane. We could have just stayed where we were gonna go. I mean, yeah, especially since we are going to be getting off at the Cross Island. But all right, back to what I was saying about the wheel and tire package. I think it is by far the best thing that you can, one of the best things that you can do, because Tesla has other. So I did put my car for the warranty because my warranty is about to end next month. But I had to get 4 replacement tires, and it only cost me $108. So basically it was $25 each tire. Each tire is a deductible of $25, but it's $25 a month, and then if I have to replace a tire, it's a $25 deductible. So I have Michelin Sports 4S's summer tires, so a set of tires for this car, which I just recently replaced about maybe, I would say maybe 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago. I needed to replace them all 4, because last week, Friday, I believe, either Thursday or Friday, no, it was Friday, I got an alarm on my car that my left driver's side tire was low, under 25 psi. So I went outside and I put air back up to 40, 42, and next day when I came out, it was back under, it wasn't under 25, but it was at 35. So I said, you know what, let me just take it in the Tesla, let them replace it. But as I said, you know what, also let me look at the rest of my tires. So my front passenger tire had 2 bubbles, literally 2 bubbles in one tire, which is crazy. The rear back tire had a bubble, in the rear passenger tire had a bubble, and the rear driver tire had a bubble. The rear driver side tire was probably the least, because it was a small bubble, but it still was a bubble, and at the end of the day, bubbles can burst at any time when you're driving, and now you got a blowout. So I put in a request to get it. I went to Tesla to see if they, of course, they didn't have any tires. So I had to ended up going, because the leak was coming out. So after I left Tesla, they put a lot of air in the front tire, and I came back home. I did try to do the mobile service, but they didn't have a tire neither. So I just went and got it plugged. It ended up being a nail, so I ended up getting it plugged at a nearest tire shop, which was actually a couple of blocks from my house. So that's what I ended up doing. So, but I did have an appointment when I went Saturday. They gave me an appointment for Wednesday to replace all 4 of the tires, and I went in early in the morning, and they took care of me, put on 4 new tires. And like I said, it only cost me $108, which, like I said, is ridiculously worth it, because I drive all the time, and these potholes and storm drains and all of these things in New York City are ferocious, you know. And my car does have 21-inch rims, has the arachnids, which is you know, so I mean, it has a decent amount of meat on the tire, but still a pretty big rim, and not a lot of meat on the tire. But yeah, so it is prone, once it hitting these potholes, and getting bubbles and things like that. To be honest, I'm surprised I didn't get blowouts, because when I had the Model 3 Performance, I had to replace tires a couple of times. I had the wheel and tire package with that as well too. But that car, once it would hit a pothole, that was one of those gut-wrenching potholes that you try to lift your butt cheeks, and it don't really, I mean, that don't really help, and it hit, and you're like, dang. That was a pop tire with the Model 3 Performance. With the Plaid, it's a little bit different. I haven't had, I don't think I've had an actual complete blowout. I've had bubbles, where they get bubbles and stuff like that. So still bad, but at least a little bit more drivable. The other good news is, sorry, I was gonna yawn, I kind of stopped it. Other news was that they did start sending out the hardware for hardware 3 cars, the version lite, 14 lite. But the problem is, for me, is that they're giving it out to the masses, which is the Model 3s and the Model Ys. They're not, you know, they're prioritizing there's a lot more Model Ys and Model 3s, so they're prioritizing those people versus the Model S and the Model X. So I get it, but it sucks, because I want to get version 14 lite ASAP. When I was at Tesla the other day, I was talking to another guy. He had a Model S, and we were talking about, you you know, he said he has a Model S, and I think somebody in his family has a Cybertruck that has hardware 4, and he was saying that same thing that's similar. The hardware 4 is definitely better, but it's not lightly as better. He said he can live with it. It's perfectly fine. He did say the same thing that I've said, though, is that he's gonna miss the speed control, because with hardware 3 cars, we can just do this, bump this max speed up to 85. So what I do is, when I see a trooper on the radar detector and I know that they're shooting radar, if I'm doing above the speed limit, I pull that down, and it slows the car down. I don't have to actually come out of FSD or brake or do anything. I just back that down, and then when we pass the trooper at a reasonable speed and they're not going to give us a ticket, then I could just bump it back up. I don't have to do anything, and it's quick on the fly. And he was expressing that basically the same thing, that he's going to miss that too, you know. So I definitely will miss that, because I utilize that all the time. Going to that customer that I just left, same thing. Trooper was on the highway, I got a hit on my radar detector, boom boom boom, slow it down. Trooper, we passed the trooper, raised my speed limit back up. I love it like that. But I do want Mad Max mode. So, you know, so far so good on this drive. We dealt with a little bit of traffic, couple of cars going in and out. That slow Challenger rather. So we're getting over, the car wants to get over, because yeah, we're about to get off at 29 west.
Speed camera ahead.
Probably 29 east though. It's the east-west exit, but we're probably gonna go east on the exit. But yeah, it's preparing to get over, which is a good thing. So the lane choices right now is not bad. One of the things I do love about these new tires is definitely seems a little bit smoother. Brand new tires versus the ones that I had before. Here goes a Mustang. Definitely not a big boy Mustang. It looks like a regular GT, if that.
Side K-band.
Yeah, not even a GT, just a V6 version. So we're getting over. Pretty good, pretty smooth. It looks like there's a cop up there that's slowing us down. Ooh, so we're getting off. Sorry, I'm yawning. My last customer of the day, and then I'm taking my behind home. I am glad all of these, so far I am 4 for 4 on repairs. Everything went swell. This last customer that I just left was a pain. I could not figure out for the life of me what was causing the dryer to not heat, but I did figure it out, got it up and running. So what did I work on? Three dryers today and 1 refrigerator, and now I'm going to work on a dishwasher. But yeah, so far all of the jobs have been successful. This job, what I'm hoping is that it's the repair is more so his door keeps falling to the ground. I think the door, what do they call them? The door latch springs are either knocked off. I'm hoping they're knocked off and I could just put them back on, because I didn't order the part. I could have sworn I pre-ordered the part. I don't know what the heck I was doing. Maybe I tried to order it and something happened with custom. Oh, we're actually going west, so that's right. Back by close, so it's not bad because it's close to the house. But I thought I ordered it and I didn't. So hopefully I don't have to order the part, because that's such a stupid thing that I could have ordered it and it's easy to do. Hopefully it just got knocked off. But yeah, so far 4 for 4, no issues. And the drive is smooth. I like this portion of the Grand Central because they did the road over it. They paved it, most of it, some of it, and it's really smooth. So like, this is the old, now this is new, nice and smooth like butter. That's where these Plaids and the Teslas, any car really, but with these EVs with no engine noise, that's where you truly hear just the straight smooth ride when you get some nice new paved road. Just feels like you're floating, which is great. So, but we're 12 minutes. I use every day now. I use FSD. It's funny is when I was at Tesla, Hazel, my homegirl, she's really cool at the service center. She was like, man, you gotta stay. She told me, because everybody knows that FSD doesn't dodge the potholes. She's like, you gotta stop using FSD so much. And I'm like, I can't, because I use it every day. Literally use it every day. So I would be sad if I couldn't use FSD. But what I will do is I am definitely more inclined to dodge these potholes even more than before, because like I said, I got a brand new set of tires and I'm not trying to ruin them already. I could have sworn I just remembered what my chain of thought was that I forgot earlier, but then I forgot it again. It's crazy. Guess it's that old age. I would love that version 14. Version 14 would be great. Oh, the other day I was using FSD and the car pulled into my customer's driveway, which was great. So surprised of that. I've never seen that before, where it actually pulls into someone's driveway. This person does not know how to merge. What are they doing? They're going to cause an accident. You're supposed to use this roadway over here to my left to get up to speed. They probably want to try to get on 19, but listen, you're not going to get over that way. And look at these slow cars, bro.
Speed camera
This is what I don't be getting.
You are exceeding the speed.
Bunch of slow cars. This guy is trying to cut up in an old SE 300. Like, bruh, stop it. And there's a BMW 340. Everybody think they one stock, but don't got none of the one stock mods. I don't even pay them no mind anymore. For me to mess around on the highway, they gotta have something really, really fast. Because I'm not wasting my time with slow cars these days no more.
Red light camera ahead.
I just hate that the car community thinks that switching in lanes and doing all of that means you can drive. It annoys the hell out of me that people think because they can switch in and out of lanes that they can drive, that they're a good driver, and it's completely false. And look at, so you guys got to see FSD kind of like move to the left. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it kind of got out of the way a little bit in the lane. Didn't move completely over, but it definitely slowed down a bit so that bike could go by. Which that bike is hauling butt. Hopefully you guys are in some AC. So I think the car is moving over because this guy in a FRS is, you know, pretty, yep, definitely is. He was coming up on the bumper, so FSD moved out of his way because we don't want to be left lane camping. If people are moving faster, we get out of the way. We're not getting off at exit 14. We're taking the Union Turnpike, so it should stay in this lane. But this BMW 750 or 760 kind of like cut us off, so we're going over into the right lane. So let's see if we make any more lane changes, or if we're here. I think we're going to get into the middle lane because I don't think we're going to have to get over, and this guy in this white car is driving slow. Oh no, we're supposed to get off. Okay, see, this is where FSD is better than me, because that's exit 15, but the GPS is not saying to get off at exit 15. It's just saying go on the Union Turnpike. I would have been just going, and I would have been going the wrong way, because I would have been looking to get off would have been exit 15. So sometimes it does that in the GPS, which is so annoying, but it happens. And this is where Mad Max would be really appreciated, is that when we get into these regular streets and slower, like, I mean, I guess the speed limit is 25, it's doing 38, just seems so slow. Just seems so slow.
Speed camera ahead. You are exceeding the speed.
FSD did not like that turn. It'll do well though. It is what it is. There's no lane markings on there. Oh Lord. Ookie dookie. Nothing I can do about that. Those are not potholes.
Auto. Mute memory.
Alright, so smart lane choice here, because this lane is technically, you can't go straight, but there's always cars in it turning. But this road is basura. I would prefer to get out of this lane, but I know that it's gonna override and bring me right back into this lane, because we have to make a right coming up pretty soon. So there goes a new Prius. Oh, I was about to be really upset at myself. I thought I wasn't recording. That would have been hilarious, but I am recording. So we're 4 minutes away, pulling up to my last customer. So let's see how this handles this. This is a blinking light. I think there's something wrong with this light. So let's see how FSD handles this. It should up. I like it. This light, that light was definitely broken, because that's not supposed to be, it's not normally a blinking red light. So I'm just gonna raise the suspension here. Whoop-de-doopy. Slows down for the speed bump. Great. But I was proud. FSD handled that broken street light pretty well. Like, it should be a legal. Oh well, I thought it was a two-way street, but having those mailboxes, you can't see crap. Let me raise the suspension again. Nice slow down for this nice speed bump. One of the issues that I've had sometimes though with FSD is FSD not sharing the road right. Like sometimes when like on a two-way street, when there's like a double parked car on the left hand side and oncoming traffic is coming at you and FSD gets over, it doesn't always utilize all of the space, which sometimes is, you know, scares me, because it's like it could have got further over to the right to give the guy coming on the oncoming side that's getting closer to me because of the double parked car, it could give them more space, and sometimes it doesn't, and it makes you kind of look like a douche, because it's like you're not moving over when you got extra space. You got extra 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet over there, you can move over. So it's kind of, didn't slam on the brakes, but it slowed down pretty aggressively to not want to run the the yellow light. So that's fine. But FSD overall, perfect. I mean, let me not say perfect, but doing a great job. And I always stress this to people. I even posted it on a group chat, not a group chat, a Facebook page today, about people always have so much knocks against FSD, but people don't have the same sentiment towards regular drivers, and regular drivers do stuff every day that is super dangerous. If I'm not correct, it was either yesterday or the day before, I was out in Long Island, way far out there on a Montauk, and Actually, I don't think it was the Montauk, but I was driving and it was a 2 lanes and we're doing like 65. I was doing about 70. The cars next to me was doing around the same, and people are getting on to the parkway, and this lady just pulls out onto the parkway, and she's just driving like 35 miles an hour, but we're traveling at 70 miles an hour, and she pulls out and does 35 something miles an hour in my lane. And that's a potential accident, because when you're getting onto the highway, you're supposed to speed up to get with the flow of traffic. You're not supposed to get on the highway and immediately impede traffic. But of course, FSD, I was in FSD handled it perfectly fine, but it's just the point that people do stuff like that could have been an accident, because if I didn't have an escape lane to the left of me, I'm gonna raise the suspension because, oh no, it's the next block. But if FSD didn't have an escape route, it would have had to slam on the brakes. And if it would have slammed on the brakes, you never know if the person behind is going to even see that, right, and be able to slow down. If they're not paying attention, then they rear-ended me, right? Because if you're doing 70 and I gotta slow down to basically stop, almost a stop, because 70 to 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour is a drastic speed change. You should not be getting on a highway and doing 35 miles an hour. You're supposed to be speeding up to match the flow of traffic, right? So people do stuff like that all the time, these things, and FSD handled that like a champ. But the thing is, people always complain about and nitpick about the little things that FSD does, which it's not a big deal, right? Like, it's not catastrophic, it's not critical. That act could have been very critical. So FSD didn't park. I'm actually going to stop it, buddy. I'm going to back up because this parking spot is a little bit ahead of my customer's address, and I could park like right in front of their house. Yeah, they're right there, so I could park like right in front of their house. All right, so we have arrived. We can end trip. Another drive where no interventions, other than intervening rather. Yeah, no interventions other than me having to park, which once again, once we get 14 lite, eventually I wouldn't have to do that. It should do a better job. Like, it pulled over, but it should pull up, and could have even pulled up in parallel parked in that spot, even though I would have preferred the spot that I'm in now. But I mean, where FSD's getting, it's very, very good. If we could fix the lane changing, the unnecessary lane changing, I think it would be near perfect. Yeah, it has some issues. Like I said, it seemed to have got rid of that red light issue. It just handled a broken red light pretty well. I mean, I don't have really too much complaints other than the same lane changing crap. You know, it's so annoying sometimes, but is it something that's going to make me stop using FSD? No, it's not. I mean, I love it. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about, is once again, I felt like another edition that was changed in that software, 2026.20. What was it? What was the last software? 0.6.0 instead of 6.1, because we're on the newest one. Was that I did make a video before in regards to how lax the eye monitoring system is, where I was able to text and things like that, but I do feel like they have changed it kind of back, because it is way more naggish, should I say. Like, when I'm texting, it's really pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. I even got a strike the other day because something happened where I was looking at my phone for a good while, and I kind of like ignored it, but it was just on me and paused, and it it gave me a strike and it kicked me out of FSD. So it was prior to that update, I would have been able to do what I was doing because FSD was not nagging. It was allowing you to look at your phone and things like that for good periods of time. You would have to look back, but yeah, they definitely have changed that in this update because it's super, like, your eyes have to be straight. As long as your eyes are straight, yeah, it's not gonna, but as soon as you pick up your phone, your eyes are not looking straight, forget about it, it's going to nag you. So that's going to conclude my video. As always, like and subscribe. Take care, drive safe.